Most of our digital advertising is actually programmatic, right? So it's all algorithms buying and selling the ads, and we provide those great environments for that transaction to happen. The programmatic side of our business, where we've really built up our technology, is actually growing at 36%. So it's even a higher growth rate.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Chris Goodridge. He is the COO and president of Vertical Scope. And Chris, it's good to see you. How are you?
I'm great, Steve. Thanks so much for taking the time today.
Yeah, excited. I know you've got some news out today about your Q3 numbers, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But for folks maybe not familiar with Vertical Scope, give me a bit of a background on the company.
Yeah, so Vertical Scope is a platform for enthusiast communities. We reach over 120 million monthly active users on the platform. And really, it's an opportunity or a place for people to go really deep on their passions. So we have car lovers, we have audiovisual geeks, we have watch lovers. Anywhere where you really want to go, really, really deep on your passion, we have communities for those people. And it's a great spot to really, go deep on your hobby and share information with like-minded enthusiasts.
And I would imagine, Chris, that you're only seeing more and more people signing on to the platform to do just that, because a lot of people are looking for, as you mentioned, people that like what you like. And when you get into those conversations, it seems to attract people more and more and more as it goes.
Yeah, exactly, Steve. In our case, in a world where AI is generating more and more content, it's hard for people to find those authentic, real great connections with other people that share a passion. And, really that's what we tap into at Vertical Scope.
Good stuff. Let's talk about your Q3 financial performance, because the numbers again showing another strong quarter for the company. 50% rise in revenue. It seems like everything is moving in the right direction, so to speak.
Yeah, and it's really fueled by, the expansion of our audience. So our monthly active user, or MAU, you'll hear us talk about, over 20% growth. Again, I mentioned over 120 million. It was actually 122 million that we reached. And, with that audience expansion, more and more engaged users, it creates that opportunity to grow revenue and build the business.
It obviously is a great place for people to go and talk about their hobbies and things they like to do, but it's also a great place for digital advertising. And you're seeing a big increase, about 22% in digital advertising.
Yeah, it's really quite powerful. And most of our digital advertising is actually programmatic, right? So it's all algorithms buying and selling the ads. And we provide those great environments for that transaction to happen. The programmatic side of our business, where we've really built up our technology, is actually growing at 36%. So it's even a higher growth rate and has grown over 35% for 3 consecutive quarters. It's really fueling that top line growth in the business.
And on that part of it, your conversion rate is 86%, which is very solid. So that's obviously a great tool to use when you're talking to people who are interested in potentially doing something with the company.
Yeah, 100%. So not only are we seeing revenue growth, but the inherent nature of our business model is incredibly profitable. And so we have adjusted EBITDA margins north of 40%, and free cash flow conversion, as you mentioned, in the 80s. It's consistently strong.
Yeah. Let's talk about the future ahead. How do you keep this going?
Yeah, so like we've said, we think there's just a secular shift online for people to seek out authentic connections, and so that tailwind is really fueling businesses like ours, businesses like Reddit, that are seeing this, real growth in this community experience. So, we expect that to continue. We also continue to develop more and more on the advertising front. So video is a relatively new solution for us, video advertising, and there's a lot of opportunity for that to expand. And more direct advertisers are taking notice, like to do, much bigger buys with us. And we're seeing that, as we enter into Q4 here, but also into next year, advertising is continue to fuel that top line growth.
Yeah. And last question, Chris, and that is about the data that you're able to get from some of that. That must be a very powerful tool when you're talking to those companies about potentially doing work with your company.
Yeah, it's a great point, Steve. Like, we sit on over 2 billion posts on our community, and this is really detailed, highly specific discussions about things that people want to buy. So it's inherently commercial in nature. It's highly valuable to our advertising partners, but it's also valuable to other players in the space that are looking to build off of a data capability like ours.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing the post on people interviewed by me. So there you go. It'll be just you and I. Chris, good to see you. Really appreciate the time. Congratulations on the numbers, and we look forward to following the story. Okay.
Thanks so much, Steve. Appreciate it.
All right. Good stuff. There's Chris Goodridge. He's the CEO and president of Vertical Scope.